Welcome back to the Shelf Sisters. Happy 4th of July. Happy Tayvis wedding. Before we started talking, Serge was sending me outfits that everyone's wearing to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding.
No,
And I need to go back
insane.
on my phone to see more guests.
I'm going to keep sending you these, but hi guys, happy June book club and happy Taylor wedding day to all those who celebrate. It's a very important day for all the Swifties. I think
And for all
maybe
the
three.
Patriots.
Yeah, that too. 250th,
Yeah.
Big deal.
So
Big
exciting. Everyone
deal.
has already started their celebrations. We're trying to get in touch with people for work and literally
And
no
no
one's
one
picking
working.
up.
No one's working. Sani's like,
And
why
so
is no one answering my calls today? I was like, it's July 3rd.
I can't get in touch with anyone. And honestly, I was taking it personally because I was like, do you not want my business? Do you not want to talk to me? I'm so
You
confused.
really were until we had to remind you. And our brother was like, oh, people are out partying right now. They're
Yeah.
working and
Yeah.
partying. So,
So
yeah,
we're like, let's stop our work. Let's start our passion project,
recording.
the recording, which we are recording in July for our June book club. And I don't want to get
It's
into
only a
how
few
late
days
we
late.
have
Okay. It's fine.
been.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. And you know what? This is a passion project. But I actually showed someone our podcast because they were like, oh, what do you guys read? And I'm not kidding. I
Cringe.
went to actually cringe. But then I went to our Spotify page and I'm not kidding. I just kept scrolling. I was like, how many episodes have we done? This
A
passion
lot.
project is 3 years in. And
Which is upsetting
yet,
because we still, I know, yet no one listens, but we really need to do clips. And I was just thinking, once I'm done with my house, my free time is just going to open.
reading. And we're going to be reading and we're going to be chilling.
No, not just reading. I need to start making clips and I'm going to have time to do that. You guys, I'm working on it.
Sonia,
I'm working on it.
I think this new platform, because now that we do Zoom recording, someone messaged us that this is giving COVID, but please don't insult us like that.
Who said
Did you see
that?
that?
No.
Our
Can you
cousin's
say it?
wife. Yeah, our cousin's wife. She has my name, Serge. And I was
Okay.
like, please do not insult us like this. But she meant
Oh
it
my
in a good
God.
way. I don't know. I think she was maybe nostalgic, but I don't appreciate that kind of slander. But I think this new platform can do clips for us. We're in the world of Claude and stuff. There's
I
no way
know.
that we are physically editing
Yeah.
our own clips the way that we used to do on
Yeah.
CapCut.
I
That
don't
gives
think
me PTSD. The preciseness of that, I would zoom in to I don't even know.
there's
I
the
felt like I was 90 years
editing,
old.
the editing on that. You don't understand how long it took.
So
It
long.
was the worst. But no, I'm sure the people who are actually listening to this, they don't need the clips. They're
No,
fine because they're watching it.
yeah.
It's for the people who aren't listening and who should be
And
listening because
there's a
they're
lot of
avid
those.
readers.
So we
Yeah.
gotta get them in.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
I
Okay,
was
but this is
actually looking up.
this is too much. People don't
No,
need
no, but
behind the scenes of this.
I know. No, I was looking up book reviews on Yesteryear, which, by the way, our June book
book.
club pick, yikes, is Yesteryear
Yeah.
by Claire. Oh my God, what's her last name? Do you remember?
Wow, I just pulled up.
I got it.
No, it's Caro Claire Burke.
Okay,
That's a
so
cool
that's
name.
that's our June book club pick. We just finished it. I just finished it yesterday and I was looking up people's reviews because I really wanted to see what the synopsis was of everyone's thoughts on the book. And I don't know your thoughts because we haven't discussed it, but my thoughts match exactly everyone else's thoughts online. So I was happy to
Really?
hear that I wasn't in the minority. So I'm excited to get into it. But my point
did
was
not
that
look
I saw
at anyone's
so
thoughts.
many. I saw so many people talking about it on TikTok, and I was just looking at all these people, and I was like, no one knows that we talk about this and that this exists. And we need to get it out there, but yeah, that's
know.
our problem. And
That's
we'll
our problem.
in 2027, I think.
Or the
we'll
end of
get
2026
our
is
crap
when we're going
together.
to do this.
Hopefully,
But no,
hopefully.
Yesteryear, I did not look up to see what everyone's thoughts are.
Oh, I went on Reddit, TikTok,
you always do this,
the
Anya.
discussion blogs.
Okay.
And there's one thing that no one has talked about that I am excited to ask you about because I tried to look it up and I couldn't see anyone that had discussed it. So I'm excited to get into that.
I can't wait. Well, I'll give everyone a summary of this book. And honestly, Goodreads, I don't know what you're doing with this long summary of this book because they didn't even give anything away at this point. But like, I'm going
Yeah.
to go ahead and read it anyways. But before I read the summary, is there anything else that we need to talk about? I feel
I
like
was just about
we
to
haven't
ask you,
recorded in so long,
what
really
have I been
quickly,
doing?
because a lot. We've been doing a
I
lot.
know.
But really quickly for everyone that read the off-campus like series,
We
what
haven't
we haven't
discussed this,
discussed, and so I was like,
or
"I need to tell."
that's a crime.
Yeah. No, it is a crime because we haven't recorded in so long, but I was so excited when Sonia told me to watch Off Campus and she said it was about hockey. I was just like, "No, girl, like, I don't have time for this, like, absolutely
I thought
not."
you were gonna hate it,
You thought
but
I
I
was gonna
had to
hate
tell
it?
you.
No, no, you had to tell me, like, everyone had to tell me. I don't know how I didn't hear about it, like, day 1, you know? But thank God that you told me because what a joyful, like did I finish it in 1 night, 2 days? I forget even, like,
One
what I
night,
did.
I
1
remember
night.
because I told you to watch it. You started in the evening and you texted me at midnight. I'm still watching. You texted me at 3 a.m. I just finished. I was like, why would you like continue the enjoyment? And you were like, I couldn't. I had
I
to watch
couldn't.
it.
I had to.
And I was so shocked because I was so sure that you would text me and be like, what is this crap that you're watching? Because like you don't watch TV. So like you, and I don't either, but I just was like, Sarah is going to have a high bar and she needs something like Game of Thrones or like a Mindy Kaling show or
I don't watch
something, you
any
know?
of those, you know? Well, Mindy Kaling, of course,
Yeah,
but
yeah. So I was so worried, but it is like not even just the
masterpiece.
actual show. It's a masterpiece, the show. I'm obsessed.
Like, that's
But
just
not
one
even
word.
just that, the interviews, the cast getting along and having so much like amazing banter with each other. I'm so obsessed. And I just want to say, because I told this to everyone and I really want to take it back, you guys. I told everyone I'm obsessed with Garrett Belmont and
Yeah.
then Hannah and Ella, like
Yeah.
obsessed.
Yeah.
But I didn't love
The guy.
Allie and Dean because
Oh.
in the show, I'm not gonna lie, her hair was really bugging me in the show and
You
it
know,
was really
everyone's, like,
distracting to me.
obsessed with her
I
hair.
know, and they're calling it the new Rachel, and like, what's wrong with you? I
It's a little
seriously
too
can't.
messy for us, I think. That's what it
Yes,
is. I'm like, "Brush it
yeah.
out." You know?
And the guy in the show, Dean, I think his hair also, it just
It's the
looks
blonde.
dyed.
It's the
Like,
blonde.
you
It's the
have to
fake
make it look
blonde.
natural. And so I think the hair people really messed it up for the actors. But
Yeah.
in real life, there are interviews and Allie's face card and her real life hair. Whoever her stylist is in real life needs to be the stylist on the show
Mhm.
because you guys, I have done a full 180. I'm obsessed with her. And I think also this, which I'm sure she doesn't even want, but like the sympathy from her past relationship, that interview that came out. Did you see it? Where
I
her
did.
ex called her some
What a loser he is.
I actually and in that
Loser
interview, she even
behavior.
looked so stunning and she seemed so sweet and just trying to get ahead of what she knew her boyfriend was gonna say,
Mhm.
fiance, because I could just tell that she could tell that he was about to say something
Out of pocket.
inappropriate.
Yep.
And like Dean in real life, he is so sweet. His fiance is one of the most stunning girls I have
Sonia.
ever seen. And she's so supportive.
And
She's the reason
the
why he tried out.
yes, I
Yeah.
didn't realize that was the thing where she was like, I read the series and I could just feel it that he was meant to be Dean. If they ever
Mhm.
did a show, like he needed to be Dean. And
Yeah.
now he's Dean and all of season 2 is about Dean.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I
so good.
really I hope that they have Hannah and Garrett in season 2 as much as they had Allie and Dean in
I'm
season
sure.
1 because I really do need more of them.
I did
But
see a spoiler about, what was the sweet guy's name? Like Garrett's friend, the roommate?
John, Logan.
Logan. Logan has a new love interest. So when they were
Oh
like
yeah.
shooting, like there was a new love interest. But no, what I was gonna say, which is an unpopular opinion, I did not think that Garrett was handsome at the start of the show. I was just like, he's like, like he's cute. He's cute. Everything else after like the first or second episode, I was like, I'm obsessed with this man. I'm obsessed. I think it's just because he's
Insane.
so goofy and like he doesn't take himself seriously and just his like interviews. Like, I think it's the real life cast that makes me love the show even more. They're all
Yeah,
just so
because they
funny
all
and
get
cute
along.
together.
When you're
So
watching a
cute.
show and you know that these people hate each other behind the scenes, it really just
Yeah.
puts a damper on your experience of
Yeah.
watching the show because you know that, like, they don't care for each other. But because in real life, like, all of these people, it's like a found family in real life. They
Yeah.
even said in the interviews that they went to Belmont's house every Friday
Every
and had a
Friday.
party and just stayed until, like, the wee hours of the morning, and they went on trips together, like weekend trips together while filming. It just, like, sounds so cute,
So
so fun,
cute.
and it's, like, young 20-somethings, like, enjoying life, and it's, like, palpable, you know? Like, you're so happy for
You're
them.
so happy.
So,
But also, like,
I'm
even
so
the
excited to see
guys,
season
like,
2.
together doing press together, I think is the cutest thing because
Yep.
they're all just, like, so supportive and, like, funny
So
together. I'm like,
supportive of each
this
other.
personality, like, it just, like, oozes, like, fun. Like, I don't know, and I feel
Yeah.
like people don't have fun anymore, like, within
Yeah.
casting. Everyone's so buttoned up and so serious, and these guys are,
Because
like,
they're
making fun
new
of
and they're not media trained yet, and everyone
yeah,
in the
they're not
comments, I can tell
jaded.
they're already like, "I hope they never get media trained," because, like, they're so sweet and cute as it is, and even
Yeah.
Dean in real life, I don't know why I can't remember his
Oh,
name, he did
yeah.
his commercial, the Verizon commercial, and Tucker said in an interview, he was like, "My mom sent it to me and said, 'Wow.'" Like,
Wow.
that's
I
so
thought that was
cute.
so cute.
And then Belmont talking about how, like, he's seen it multiple times and, like,
Yeah.
that it's amazing and they're so happy for them. And the interviewers are like, "What advice can you give to the next couple?"
Mhm,
And both, like, separately, Ella
mhm,
and Belmont said, like,
mhm.
they don't need our advice. Like, they're already doing so amazing. It just,
Uh-huh,
like, warms my heart. I'm
and
obsessed with these
Ella and
people.
Mika being, like, best friends now, and there's, like, a 10-year age
I
difference.
love Ella.
So
Oh my
sweet.
God.
Ella is, I think, the most stunning human
She is
on
so
the planet.
gorgeous, and, like, her the way they dressed her in season 1 and, like, with
We
the
can't
helmet,
go
you
into
would
everyone's,
think,
like, book
like,
characters and their outfits anymore,
that
like,
would
it's
make
just our biggest pet peeve.
everyone that would make anyone, honestly, just, like, not look so cute. She
This
looks
woman, yeah.
gorgeous in every shot, like, I can't handle it. I can't
No,
handle it.
no, she has a long career ahead of her, that
Knock on wood
Ella.
for all of these people, like,
All of
that's what
them,
I want
all
for
of
all
them.
of them.
Also, Mika sorry, this is my last one. Mika and Justin being together IRL, I'm sorry, they are so hot, like, I
I
can't, like,
forgot about
them
this.
in
The
Paris,
the, like,
the photo of them
patio
oh, the
patio
patio
dinner,
when she was, like, rubbing
it
his
looks like Lulu's
wait,
or
what?
Gigi, something like that. Like that
Wait,
dinner spot that they went to in Paris, that's what it looked
I
like.
know, but no,
Under
no,
the tent.
I'm talking about, like, recently when they came back to the States and they were filming,
Yep.
and they're,
Yeah,
like they
her
have, like,
shirt
a
under or her
her
hand
hand
under
on
his shirt. It was at the G
I
Flip,
can't.
like, the singer G Flip. Her song went viral from the show. It's called, like, "Bed on Fire," and which I thought was so good while they were playing the show, so I'm so happy that, like, she's also going viral,
Also,
but
the
she
soundtrack
did
of the show,
so
spectacular.
good.
Everyone who's doing, like, a new Teeny Bopper show, all of their soundtracks, so good.
I think they just
So
know that all of
good.
us, like, we're obsessed with Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, like, all these people, but I'm like, I only know G Flip from her wife who was on Selling Sunset, and Chrishell,
Yes. Yeah.
and, like, whenever I saw them together, I was just like,
Confused,
"What?" Like,
yeah.
it just didn't make sense to me visually because they look so different as
Yeah.
people, and I just didn't think that she was, like, a big singer, you know, because she's from
Yeah.
Australia, so, like, we don't really hear of her.
Yeah.
And when I heard that song in the show, I was like, "Wow, this is a really good song that I've never heard before." And then I heard that it's G Flip. I was like, "These 2 worlds colliding?
And
I
even the
can't."
old school songs, so good.
Oh my
So
god.
good.
Like,
So
B is
good.
back. I don't wanna
So
curse on
good.
the pod. B is back.
I know. I know.
Love.
The playlist on Spotify for the entire soundtrack
Mhm.
on repeat, on repeat. Okay, that's enough of off campus. I just, like, had to bring it up because it's so fun and everyone just looks like they're having a great time, and
I
I love
know.
that
Now
for
we're,
them,
like,
and
a
I
month
want
late
them
on this
to
convo, but it's fine.
it's okay. It's okay. But we'll have maybe on our Instagram when we post the episode, which it will be up like pretty soon. We can also post stuff from our best dress from Taylor's wedding, which it is a wedding, right? Like now we know it's like a reception. Like, what are we doing?
Can
Are
I
we
say
calling it
something
now?
really quickly, which we were talking about before recording?
Yeah. No
It
one. Yeah.
is because I sent you a video. Carissa she's like the sports news anchor, like I think
Yes.
for the
Yeah.
NFL now. I love her. She's so cute. One of the paparazzi people like called out, "Are you happy for Travis and Taylor?" And she's like, "So happy. I love, love." And she was being so cute. So she just
Yeah.
like confirmed that it was the wedding.
Yeah.
But I just want to say about the outfits, everyone looks beautiful. Like I haven't seen someone that's like, "Oh, like they don't look nice."
I have
My my question is why is like no one in a full ball gown? I thought this was going to be the most
black
upscale
tie
black
affair.
tie affair. Why is no one in a full on gown? I saw Dakota Johnson's outfit and I was like, "You're going to dinner. What is that bag? What is
But
this, like,
she looks
thin
great,
dress?"
like, she
That's
looks
what I'm
great, but
saying.
it's, like, not like it's not a Taylor and freaking Travis's wedding, like, what? Like, the slit is, like, high, but also the dress doesn't go all the way to the floor, it really is a dinner outfit. I don't know, it's like a Saturday
It's
night, like, date
and
night
look at the
outfit.
bag. Do you see the
I
bag? It's
know, I
not a
know,
clutch. It's
I
a shoulder
know,
bag.
I
It's like a
know.
rhinestone shoulder bag. It's
I
really
know, but
not
people are
making
doing
sense
that
to
these
me.
days, I don't know.
To Taylor Swift and
I
Travis
know, I know.
Kelce's
And I just sent
wedding.
you Hugh Grant's, like, going to the wedding too. His wife or his girlfriend, whatever, literally wearing a midi dress that's like a halter neck and like tight, like bodycon. I don't understand. So I don't know. This is something, if this is a wedding, like it's a weird dress code. Like I don't know what's happening. But okay. Regardless, we will post on our Instagram story. You guys can watch out for that. And if you have any requests about people that attended the wedding and, like, if we should rate their looks, I'm happy to do so because
I don't
why
think
not?
anyone's gonna want that, but I'm happy
Sonia,
to.
you don't know. We don't know that, okay?
I
All
know. I
right,
am
now
very
we're getting
negative about,
into it,
like,
though.
people watching, but then we do get comments in real life like, "Oh my god, I love it." So, I should stop.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, are we
Okay,
ready
let's
for
get yeah,
yesteryear? Because
20 minutes later, let's get into the summary because I have so many notes that
we
I've
have
highlighted in the book that I have to talk to you about.
okay. Yeah, let's get started and I'll give my thoughts after. Okay, are we ready for Yesteryear
Just
by
bear with us on this
Caro?
summary.
I know it's so
Oh,
long.
quick question. If someone's listening and they have not read the book and they're listening just for fun, would you recommend them to go read this book?
Right now? You're saying that right now?
Yeah, like before they listen to our thoughts. Like, would you recommend someone to read this book? Or would you be like, nah, just listen to us. You don't need to read
I
it.
think just listen to us because what a long book for yeah. So that's why I
Okay.
didn't want to say this, but you
Okay.
go for it. Okay, you ready?
I would say read the book.
Okay, wow, this is about to be a very interesting episode is all I'm gonna say. Okay. I don't know if this is like a
I'll
nervous like laugh, like I don't understand what's happening.
I'll explain why. But that's just like
Oh god.
my
Okay.
overarching thought. Okay.
Okay.
Now
All
for
right.
the long summary.
Long summary. Okay. Brace yourselves. Yesteryear by Caro Claire Burke. A traditional American woman, a trad wife influencer, suddenly awakens in the brutal reality of 1855, where she must unravel whether this living nightmare is an elaborate hoax, a twisted reality show, or something far more sinister. My name was Natalie Heller Mills, and I was perfect at being alive. Natalie lives a traditional lifestyle. Her charming farmhouse is rustic. Her husband is a handsome cowboy. Her 6 children, each more delightful than the last. So, what if there are nannies and producers behind the scenes? Her kitchen hiding industrial grade fridges and ovens. Her husband, the heir to a political dynasty. What Natalie's followers, all 8 million of them, don't know won't hurt them. And the angry women, the privileged Ivy League coastal elite haters who call her an anti feminist. They're sick of the jealousy because Natalie isn't simply living the good life, she's living the ideal and just so happens to be building an empire from it. Until one morning, she wakes up in a life that isn't hers. Her home, her husband, her children, they're familiar, but something's off. Her kitchen is warmed by fire rather than electricity. Her children are dirty and strange, and her soft handed husband is suddenly a competent farmer. Just yesterday, Natalie was curating photos of her homemade jam from her Instagram, and now she's expected to haul firewood and hand wash clothes until her fingers bleed. Has she become the unwitting star of a ruthless reality show, or could it just be time travel? Is she being tested by God, by Satan? When Natalie suffers a brutal injury in the woods, she realizes two things. This is not her beautiful life, and she must escape by any means possible.
That was a better
What a
summary than I
summary.
remembered it being. I think
Really?
that yeah, that summed it up real nice.
Okay, well, perfect. Let's get started. Sonia, give me your overall thoughts and then I'll give you mine.
Oh, I was gonna tell you to go
No, no, no.
first.
You start. You start.
Okay, it's so funny because I said, like, I think you should go read this book before
Uh-huh.
listening. And my first note I have on my phone for this book is one of the most miserable books I've ever read.
Okay. Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
And okay, there's a lot of negative things I have to say, but I just like need everyone to know, even though this book was miserable, like so crazy and weird and gross and all of those things, I like could not wait to get into bed to read more of this book. I don't know what it was about it. I was like so looking forward to it. Like I would literally be doing my skincare routine and be like, "Oh my god, like I'm about to get into bed. I
What's
can't
Natalie up
wait
to
to see
next?
yeah, like what is going to happen." And I think it's because and someone said this online, it's like the author almost didn't want you to get so connected to the characters because she wanted you to kind of like put yourself in the situation more. And I thought that was interesting because I was also thinking one of the reasons I loved it is because I usually hate like the timelines when they go back and forth. But for this one, she made it really quick. Like
Uh-huh.
the past chapters like, she didn't dwell on it so much, she just kind of let you know what was going on and then would go back to the present, uh, which I liked. It wasn't like you got so sucked in and then you had to come out and, like, go to another timeline, get so sucked in, come out, and then go back. I felt like it flowed really well, like, there were some past chapters that were only, like, a few pages long. So that is what I really enjoyed. Like, I was like, I don't even wanna say the word entertain, I just, like I did want to read the book, and looking back, I can say, like, overall, it was, like, an entertaining but miserable experience. That's how I would sum it up. Now for all of the negatives, like, I don't know who which character we were supposed to like, I hated all of them.
All of them.
I
All of
can't
them.
remember a book that I've ever read where there wasn't one redeeming character. And maybe you could say, it was her mom that started believing in like gay rights, okay, where you're like, girl, like it's literally 2026, but sure. Okay. Then her sister, who like finally met a man that like treated her well and loved her and was still like a pastor and whatever. But yet she had 6 kids with this, like, deadbeat of a husband before. Like and her mother, like, she grew up with all these values because of her mom, right? She didn't have her dad in the picture.
Uh-huh.
Her mom lied, and, like, it wasn't the dad that cheated, it was the mom that cheated. The dad wanted to work on it, and her mom said, "No, get away from me." And so she was,
Goodbye.
like, instilling all of these values into her daughters, but she had done like,
The opposite.
the complete opposite of what she preaches, and she liked that life. She liked that she didn't have a partner but she was still telling her daughters, like, "Go ahead and, become a wife, a mother, even if you don't like it. You'll get over your postpartum depression. You're fine, have another kid." Like, it was so crazy that I hated both of them, hated Natalie, hated Caleb, Doug, like, who was the
All of
character we
them.
were supposed to like? There was and it's like, the
The
characters were
mother-in-law
awful,
just like high the entire time. Like, what is
literally,
happening?
and the setting of the book, like, the past chapters where they're so miserable, where she gets, like, what they said in the summary, that injury that she gets on her foot, that trap in the woods, disgusting. They're eating, like, her stale, bad sourdough bread that, like, she can't remember how to make, and then being abused like that slap in the face. I it was, like, seriously miserable,
Okay.
miserable.
Miserable. But you're still asking people to read it. Here's what I will say.
I yeah,
Save I don't even know how long I spent reading this. Your 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours, however long this book was.
was it that long?
Yeah. Save that time and please read something more enjoyable. The fact that I had to read and you said you were ready to, like, pick it back up and, like, can't
Yeah,
wait to get into bed and kind of see what was happening. I was the exact opposite. The way I started this book and I would just doze off and keep falling asleep, and I had to, like, force myself one day during the day to literally start, like, at 4 p.m. and just keep it going until, like, 8 to 9 p.m. just to get through, like, a bulk of it just to finally get through this book. I almost was like, "Sonia, I don't know if I can finish this book. I'm just going to read a summary and then come on the show, come on the pod and say, 'Listen, guys, it was so terrible for me that I just looked at the summary and I'm happy to discuss what I've read and the summary that I've read.'" That's how bad it got for me, and I don't think I mean, usually if we're not reading for the pod, I will DNF a book, like, so
yeah,
quick. Like, I have no problem being like, "Oh,
same.
I've invested 30% into this. Okay, goodbye." Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
But I couldn't do that, so I was just like, "I'm gonna go ahead and finish it." No, no redeeming characters. It was the parts were when you said that it was present day and, like, 1855, like, however they were living, it was meant to be the past,
mhm.
but it was actually the future. My biggest problem was that they literally spent so long setting or Caro spent so long setting the stage for their life and, like, the background. Everything that was up until 65 to 70% in the book could have been condensed to 40. He's like, I'm being kind of forgiving in that. He's even like a
I
lot
feel you
for
on
all
that.
of that, you know? And
Yeah,
then
like
it
the
finally
political
gets
run of the father-in-law.
cool. Her being lesbian could have
Uh,
easily said she like assaulted her by like slapping her or like something rather than insinuating that she's a lesbian. It was just like at the end, it got way too chaotic, and
mhm.
Cara was just throwing any sort of explanation that she could at us to make us literally continue to hate these characters. And that the pacing of the entire book, I was just so disappointed. But her writing, Cara's writing, it's her debut novel, right? Like this is her first one. I think this is her first one.
Let me Google while you
Well,
talk.
yeah, yeah. Um, her writing was phenomenal. Like I think I would read another book by her if the setting and like the characters were a little bit more pleasant to read about, but I think this is her debut novel, but the writing was great. And as far as like all of the characters, we're going to talk about it more like in the discussion questions about um what's it called? I literally even forget her name right now. Like what was the
Natalie?
freaking Natalie influencer's name? Like what and Natalie, Caleb, their entire, like, relationship, their families, all of it, like, not one person that I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I could see your perspective in this." Not one
This is
person,
her debut novel. Insane,
which
amazing. Shout out to her.
her PR team did such an incredible job promoting this book, and I still don't know which influencer they're kind of is it Nara
I
Smith
think
that
it's
they're
I think it's multiple. So
okay,
I've heard people comparing her to Ballerina Farm because of like the
the
farm aspect
husband
and a lot
having
of kids, and then the rich husband
husband
that has like an
mhm.
influential father. And then I haven't heard Nara Smith, but that makes sense because she also does like the homesteading
Mhm.
trad wife thing. But everyone knows like she's not actually like a trad wife. Like this is her career, as with
Right.
Ballerina Farm. But the darker parts, people are saying that they have similarities to, or she had similarities to Ruby Frank and the Duggars because
Ooh,
Ruby
the
Frank, because
Duggars. I don't know who that
the
is.
Ruby
Ruby Frank.
Frank
Yeah, who's
so
that?
she's an influencer and she mostly did YouTube, and I think she has 4
Frank.
kids, and in her video you can see her being like giving out really cruel punishment to her kids, and then I think CPS was called, and turns out she was oh no, her son was like chained or something, and he got away and ran to a neighbor's house, I wanna say, and turns out her and her business partner were abusing her kids. Like, they would be out, like, imagine in this Texas heat, they would have to work out in the yard, for, like, the whole day without water, couldn't come inside, like, they would get, like, fully sunburnt and malnourished,
Your
and
own children?
yeah, and if they acci by the way, a five-year-old, like, if they forgot to take their lunch to school, they would have to skip lunch. So, like,
Okay, see,
really
I can't
cruel punishment.
yeah, I can't even
So,
talk
okay,
about this
that,
more,
and then
but
also the Duggars, what I heard was the Duggars' youngest daughter, her name was like, what was oh, the youngest daughter was Maeve. Okay, I don't know why they said her name. Oh, because she had a daughter named Jessa. They had a daughter either named Jessa or, like, Josie or something, and
mhm.
the youngest daughter, like in the book, Maeve, she has a learning disability, and so I think it's, like, multiple influencers just
Yeah,
thrown
just
in this book,
combined.
and she's just kinda, like, picking and choosing what to take from each one, but, like and we're gonna get into the
We're
questions,
gonna get
but
into it. But also, like, really quickly, do you get, like, trad wife on your For You page at all? Like, I never get them.
I hardly get it. I never get Ballerina Farm, or I never got Ruby Frank until, like, the whole scandal happened, or the Duggars. Actually, besides, I did get the Duggars brothers, like, trial. One of the brothers sexually assaulted, like, two of the daughters while they were all living together. And then, like, sometimes we'll get Nara Smith, and I love Nara Smith and her
I was
videos,
just gonna say,
and fun
sometimes I
fact,
get
I don't even know
yeah.
if you know, Nara Smith used to live very close to us
Really?
because she lived in Dallas, yeah, and I saw, like, the street that she was, like, caught walking on, and maybe she, like, doesn't live in that area and she was just walking in that area with her kids, but, like, in the vicinity, and then she moved.
Yeah, Nara
But,
Smith,
I
like, I
love
get
Nara
sometimes,
Smith.
but that's it.
Yeah, but
Okay,
she's
sorry,
very it's, like,
really quick
her
intermission,
outfit.
because
Mhm.
I think you're gonna be excited about this. While I was looking up Ruby Frank, because I still can't, like, picture it, I was on Instagram looking it up, and I just saw pictures of Bradley Cooper, who is in a stunning tux, dressed to go to a black tie formal wedding. Stunning. Gigi Hadid looks so pretty in pink. I'm obsessed. Cabello, I think that's how you say her name, looking okay. And
Looking
then,
okay.
Carly Kloss, stunning.
Shut
She's going to the
up.
wedding and she's in a
Serge,
gold dress.
Serge, they had a
I
feud.
know, they had a feud. And I don't think Blake Lively is going to the wedding. And Carly is not the first photo in this dump, which is honestly kinda crazy. Okay, sorry. We'll discuss this later and we'll post it on Shaw Sisters, but I just had to say that because I could not believe,
Carly Kloss. Wow,
if
okay.
she's there and Blake and Ryan are not,
I don't think they are
that
because
means
there was a picture that
something
came out yesterday. They were, I think, in upstate New York or something for their daughter's, like, horse competition.
something real shady happened. Okay. All right, let's get to our discussion questions, Sonia. You wanna ask the first one?
Yes, let me go. I was on my notes one. Okay. How did your opinion of Natalie change over the course of the book, especially as you learned more about her personal background, the origins of Yesteryear Ranch, and her transformation after Shannon's allegations? I thought she was a B throughout the entire thing. Literally,
Well, really
my,
quickly, are you gonna start from, like, her in Yesteryear or, like, after she got married? Or are you gonna talk about, like, her in college? Her making the leap to, like, actually go to Harvard?
I'm kind of just like, my thoughts are just like a gist of all of it.
Okay.
Like her
Okay, go
mom
for it.
said, "Why can't you ever be kind?" Which is literally her in a nutshell. Like, the rudest person ever. When she would, like, say those things, and in the book, you're reading it as her thoughts, but she would accidentally say it out loud to,
Yeah.
like, her father in law, Doug. I was like, this girl is crazy. And, like, even to her sister, like, everyone, she was just so rude. And so my opinion of her didn't change, I would say, until the very end. Like, I just thought she was a miserable wench. And then at the end, when, by the way, like, I don't even know if we said what the reveal was. The reveal was at the end, she actually went into some sort of like psychosis. And so
Took the
she
word out of my mouth.
was,
Mhm.
yeah. So, like, the past chapters that were supposedly like taken place in 1855, something
55.
like that, it was actually like the future, and she
Future.
just thought it was the past because she was, like, taking this medication that they would give her, but she would go in and out of, like, psychosis and, like, her regular mental state, I guess,
Her
and they had
consciousness, yeah.
turned her, yeah, and her husband, what's his name?
Caleb.
Caleb, had
Caleb.
changed the the ranch, to make it look like it was they were living in the 1800s. So they took away all the electricity and they did it little by little. So they like kind of demoed the house, like took out, the AC, the microwave, the
The
washer and
toilets, then they have
dryer.
that outhouse.
Yeah, they took away the toilets, did the outhouse, and they sold. The last thing they did was sell their car. And that's
Car.
when they were like, now we're actually living. We're like hiding out and living, and we're going to do it because, like, we need to get away from the public. And if we do this, I think in their heads, they were like, the public will see, like, this is what we wanted and whatever. So until the reveal was that, like, she didn't time travel. This is not a test from God. It's just her mental state that thinks that she's living in the past.
Uh-huh.
That's when I started to feel bad for her because I even wrote this in my notes. There were a lot of signs at the beginning that she wasn't fully right. And I think she always, and I don't think it's bipolar, but it just reminded me of it because I think what happens a lot is that, like, if someone has bipolar, there's sometimes, like, signs, but it doesn't fully come to until you're, like, in your late teens, early 20s-ish. And so this kind of reminded me of that, even though it happened to her later, like, there were
Mhm.
always signs, but maybe there were, just circumstances that made it worse, or, it was just gonna happen to her anyway, but, like, just giving birth that many times and having that many children in a row that you don't even want to, I think can really change how your brain functions when you're already not well. You could tell that she had, like, she couldn't connect with her baby. She had, like, postpartum depression, and no one took that seriously. Um, and then just like what she said too, like giving birth when you're mentally not well, not in a hospital, in just like a water birth at home and like with no doula, nothing. And her daughter, like her last daughter, had a mental disability because the baby didn't breathe for a few seconds and they didn't know what to do. And that's why the daughter had a disability. And
And
so,
the older daughter had to do CPR in that moment.
yeah. And, like, the parents couldn't figure that out, but, like, the 10-year-old or however whatever
Could,
age she
yeah.
was at could and, like, thought of that. So, I don't I feel like a l maybe part of it was also in her control, like, get it together. You're a mother, you're someone in society that, like, can't be acting like this, but part of me felt bad for her because, like, it wasn't made clear what was actually a mental disability or incapability versus what she had done to herself,
Yeah.
you know?
No. Yeah, you're being very kind. Like her mom said, be kind. I just could not fathom that someone who wanted to break out of the life that she grew up in went to Harvard, spent 1 year there, and then sees this guy, also the guy Caleb, coming from a political family, marrying a sophomore, and then just, like, having her, like, quit school and, like, live like he
And
didn't even get a job.
in-laws the in-laws not even caring. I thought that he would have some pushback whenever she was like, you know, he's proposing to me, like, now we're gonna get engaged. He's, like, calling his dad,
Mhm.
and I thought it would be like the parents would tell them, "What are you
Absolutely not.
doing?" But no, they happily threw a engagement
Engagement
party, a
party.
wedding
A
party,
wedding.
And I would think, at the engagement party, when the girl doesn't want to invite anyone, like no family, no friends, like that should
Red
be a
flag,
red
red
flag. Like,
flag.
who is my son marrying? But
Also,
I
it's
guess
just
they
such, like,
just,
different backgrounds that they come from,
yeah,
and I
like,
just,
why
like,
aren't you
did not
concerned?
expect that. Yeah, exactly. But for her to, like, go from being like, "Oh, I wanna fully get out of this life, I'm gonna do this," to then fully turn back in, like, a year and a half, and then her
Yeah.
mom even said to her, like, at the engagement party or at the wedding, she said, "If you marry this man," she said to me, "now with the blinking eyes, you will become his smiling shadow." The exact opposite happened. He became her shadow, and, like, a psychotic shadow. Like, it was insane the way that she turned, and you could kind of, like, see her speaking to her father-in-law and then kind of, like, understanding that thought process, and that's when, like, things were, like, turning for her, and I don't know if, like, marrying this man who is, like, so just, like, not ambitious, has 0 drive, is just going to live off of his trust apparently,
Hmm.
and the parents just being okay with it, like, I don't know if she was just like, "Well, now I have to deal with this." I don't know,
Yeah.
like, how she even I just do not understand that thought process, and maybe it's just because we're just such different people that I could never, like, connect to any of the characters in this book at all, and I had no sympathy for her the entire book, like, 0 sympathy. Even when it was, like, going through the 1855, like, chapters where they were, like, pretending that this was, like she was in a reality show. When she said, "I might be in a reality show," I think I laughed out loud, where she was like, "I'm being watched." I'm
Yeah.
like,
And
"Yeah,
they're
you're
like,
being
I
watched
think
and
they
this
can
your husband's
watch
assaulting
assault,
you?"
but they can't watch like a sexual assault.
What?
What? I don't know.
Like, I
But
was
I
actually
also,
LOLing out loud. Like, there were so many parts of this book where I just, like, could not believe that this was, like, written. Like, it was in writing.
oh my God. And then I also want to address the last part, her transformation after Shannon's allegations. I don't think that she's actually a lesbian. I think they just like had Shannon lie in the book to make it a bigger scandal. And Shannon reminds me of those people on TikTok where they have one negative experience with like an influencer or a celebrity and they go shout it from the rooftops because like they want
Shannon?
their attention now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hated her, and she was such, like, an evil person in my eyes to go on like, if you actually are being, like, truthful in what you're saying, you go to the police and you kind of let them take care of it, or if you wanna go to the media, like, you say the actual story, not, like, all of these lies and things that you could have helped, by the way. If you really care about the children, call CPS. You can get officials involved to show them they're not
And
actually learning what they're supposed to be learning at this
yeah.
homeschool lesson.
No, instead,
They
she's creating montages of, like, all of the times that the kids did not wanna be in the back of the photos, or the kids were, like, throwing tantrums because they didn't
yeah,
like the p it was just like, you're utilizing all of your
a
resources in such, like,
and
a
while
negative way and not helping at all.
and sleeping with her husband when she's pregnant with their 6th
Her
child
6th,
and
yeah,
antagonizing her at
when
the end,
she
like, the last sentence
confronts
when
her.
she yeah, it was
Mhm.
it was insane, and so I think it was just, like, another lie that she told, so I don't think she's a lesbian at all, and
The
honestly, like,
only
I don't know
reason I
why.
believed it was, like, her Natalie's reaction to it. Like, she was so just, like she acted in such a way that, like, it made me believe it. She couldn't
No,
even
I think
look
she's
at
just
her.
odd in general. Like, she's not right in the head about anything. My concern was like, why is everyone freaking out so much? I know that, the father-in-law, like, his
It was his
like
political
campaign
campaign
was
and his
family values and like,
exactly,
believing in
exactly.
like God and I think it was like Christianity or something. I don't want to like put that into there if that's not what it is.
No, it
But
was
it
because
was
she said
okay.
that, like, my father-in-law is literally he is taking, like, her Instagram captions and, like, putting it in his speeches. Like, that's what he was doing. So, like, his
Yeah.
entire platform was
But
the kind of
I
life that they were living, and then they know that this is his daughter-in-law. And so when all of
But I
this
don't know
came out
why it would be a big deal that she said that because they were refuting every other thing she said. So it's not hard for you to refute that allegation as well. Like to me, when everyone went crazy after that, I was like, just refute it. Like it's not a big deal. Like I in my
I think I just
eyes.
hated Natalie so much that I believed everything against her. I think that's what it was.
I
Like, I disliked the character so much that there was nothing redeeming that I was like, "I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here."
I hated Shannon as much as I hated Natalie.
Mm,
Like,
I hated
why?
Natalie more because, like, she had these children while she did not want to have them, was not actually raising them. There
Didn't
was, like,
couldn't even recognize her daughter.
crimes that Natalie committed. Shannon, okay, she was a
I don't know.
19-year-old that had a affair with her nanny or whatever, like, the dad in the family that she was working for. Okay, like, you are under the age of 21, like, I will give you that. This
No.
woman who is now 30 has 6 children. There was one part where, like, Caleb had to be like, "Oh, did you forget to, like, make them dinner?"
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, yeah, it's
That's one of
9
the
PM, I'm
things
filming my content."
yeah, that's one of the things where I was like, I don't think she's right in the head. And she like, the author gave you clues that this woman was not
Yeah.
okay, but it was just, like, crazy to expect that they would go so back in time during
Yeah. Yeah.
2026 or whatever. Okay, next question.
Okay,
Like,
next question.
we do this every time. How does Caleb's personality motivate Natalie to clarify and adjust her own personality? Discuss the strategies and tools she learns about self preservation, how to pretend without looking like you're pretending from her online classes and from Shannon. Is being in the public eye a sacrifice and challenge for her or a fulfillment of something she's always wanted? It was so interesting because you're right. Like she went to college, but then like she didn't want to do that anymore. So then she got married. But then at the very beginning of the marriage, she realized if she just had waited like 2 more months dating this guy, she would have
She would've
realized.
known.
But no, she wanted to jump into it. Okay. And then right after they got married, when she went to her father-in-law, my God,
Sorry, I know
everything
it's a
okay?
fire truck. Yeah.
Mm. When she went to her father-in-law for the first time and she had to go behind her husband's back and it was like a deal that she was making with her father-in-law, I was like you're the patriarch of the family that like you never
Yeah.
wanted to be. You did all of this so you could sit back and have children and like not worry about, money and status and whatever. But now that's what you're doing. So it was just ironic that like she had to change those roles, but like I don't think she ever was built for being in the public eye and being an influencer besides her like wanting of a business acumen and having to do these things so they would have their own money. But it was just like, the part that I found really freaky
Uh-huh.
that it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It freaked me out. When she was at the grocery store and she ran into, like, the first
Her
follower that
friends, yeah.
recognized her at
Yeah,
the
mhm.
grocery store, and, the follower was just, like, saying hi, and then she checked out and she went to the car, and the follower ran up to her again and was like, "I forgot to even tell you what I wanted to say, like, I've been having a hard time, thank you so much, you're, like, a light in my life," whatever, and, I think Natalie said something like, "My daughter's in the car," and I was
She
like,
left her daughter
"What?"
in the car
And
and went to the grocery
and
store.
and the follower was like, "You left your daughter in the car?" And it was just so like, you didn't even get a clue as to if the daughter was in the car, I feel. Like, I don't remember having it. So when she said that, I was like, "This girl is not okay."
They did say that
It
she
felt
was,
like a
like,
thriller
taking her
at that
daughter.
time.
I know, they said that she was taking her daughter to the grocery store, but then no one said, like, "Oh, the daughter was, like, with her, like, in there." It was just only
I
when
just
she came
assumed,
outside.
yeah.
I know, of
Yeah.
course, like, you're not leaving people don't even leave dogs in the car. Like, what is your
I
issue?
know.
No, she was not built for this life. She was just kind of doing it because I think at this point, like, she thought she was in so deep, which is crazy because she dated this man for, like, literally 2 months and then was married for a month and then had to go to, like, her father-in-law for help. She just thought she was in too deep and she couldn't get out, and she was digging herself into this hole that was, like, adding so many additional players into this life that she did not need to add and making them miserable as well, like, with her. It was honestly, like, her frantic energy. I can't even think about this book any
Okay, let
I
me go
don't wanna
to
give
the
her more
next
thoughts
question.
because it was
Okay.
so something about Caleb, though, really quickly. I don't there was one part where, like, it was in either the engagement party or the wedding. She was like, "Oh, I should have noticed it," that, like, all of his brothers were hanging out together, and they would just, like, leave Caleb behind, and, like, no one would
Mm,
speak to him. And, like, his parents even, like, wouldn't do that. And there was, like, little parts that she kind of picked up, like I mean, hindsight is always 20/20, but, like,
yeah.
there was parts that she was even, like, thinking through, and she was like, "Oh, maybe I should have thought about this more." But no, she continues to, like, unravel the most awful parts in her life and doesn't learn from them.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Compare Natalie's first set of children, Clementine, Samuel, Stetson, Jessa, and Junebug, with her later children raised in the traditional ranch, Mary, Noah, Abel, and Maeve. Why do you think she doesn't recognize the latter as her own at first? Well, I mean, that's like an obvious question, but the this just reminded me like Mary.
Mhm,
That was one of, like, the saddest and hardest parts to read, her
mhm.
having to raise her own or, like, take care of her own mother, and in both scenarios, like, the past and present in the book, both of the eldest daughters hated her. Like,
No,
Clementine
yeah.
hated her so much that she took videos of her mother behind her back in secret and gave them over to someone who blasted it to the media. And then the other one literally had to tell her every single day to get her crap together so she could take care of her family, which she still didn't. She did like the bare minimum needed.
Less than the
And
bare minimum.
yeah, and another thing that was, oh my gosh, she was describing Maeve as like a 5-year-old to me. I was imagining her as like our cousin Savannah, like
Mhm.
such a cutie, like, you just wanna hang out with her all
Sweet,
the
yeah.
time. So sweet, and I thought Mary was, like, an early teenager or whatever, and then I think and then at the end, she was like, "Oh, Maeve is" I think she said, like, 10 or
12, yeah, something like
12.
that.
I was like, "Excuse me? Excuse me?"
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
was so crazy, and then they said that, she didn't get oxygen whenever she was born, so she had this, like, disability, and they were extremely malnourished because they were only drinking, like, vegetable broth with, like, biscuits every single day, and I I hated Natalie. Okay, whenever I ended the book, I was like, this is like the worst
Mhm.
character. And I think this is maybe part of like my patriarchal views as well, because after going on Reddit, I didn't realize how much like anger I should have towards Caleb as well. Like,
Yeah.
to me, I just kind of maybe because he wasn't the main character, he was like a secondary, so it just like doesn't cross your mind as much. But he was not in psychosis, like, he was mentally sound,
We
and
as
it was
from
already
what we
hard for
know
him.
now, I don't know.
No, I think so, and, like, at the beginning, he couldn't be bothered to follow through on anything, and I can't get around the fact that, like, in the end, he so hardcore followed through on something that was the hardest out of all of them. Like, you couldn't keep a finance job, but instead you're gonna take away, like, your toilet and all of these things, and, like, him having a secondary house to go watch football in, but he had his, like, kids, his 4 kids in that house without regular food, without like, any sort of modern
Yeah.
technology, and he could see, as someone in his own right mind,
Sound.
that his kids were malnourished and, they were washing clothes until their hands bled, and that their, daughter, who this was her life, like, she had never left their home and their land, had a
He was
crush on her
telling
brother.
he was telling the kids that, like, "We don't know what extends past, like, these woods."
Yeah,
That's what he was
yeah.
training the kids to believe. No, you're right,
So
like, we didn't even think about it that way
he's
because we
even worse
really
than
have
Natalie.
yeah, no, he really is, and if you think about it, like, truly worse because the way that Natalie grew up, we can kind of see this kind of life because her parents are kind of like or her
Yeah,
mom is that way, her sister is that way. Caleb, on the other hand, comes from, like, a family who's kind of normal. They have an estate in Napa. Like, it is a very different kind of life, and for him to not see that this is actually just, like, bizarre and then just still be, like, a complete I don't know. I don't know how to describe Caleb, and
it's
now that you say that, like, he had every opportunity to get his collective 12 kids. Is it 12? Oh my god. How many kids did they have
I think it's
collectively?
8. Or no,
8?
no, you're right. No, 10, sorry. 4
Okay.
plus 6.
Collective, like and even though, like, Clementine so spoiler, Clementine, the eldest daughter from, like, present day when, the book was present day, she took the kids and, like, moved in with the grandmother, like, the mom's mother, and she said, like, that life was even better than, like, living with them, and the mom literally had a two-bedroom, like, home, and she took the 4 kids with her, and then I don't even know where I was going with this, but I think for, like, Caleb, it was just so much worse because the 2 boys, like, stayed kind of back for to check on the parents, and, like, they had a house pretty close by, so Caleb could literally come and watch football and eat at the place. Can
Yeah,
you
but you're
imagine,
doing
like,
that, but
that as
you're
a
not letting
dad?
your kids doing that. That's why I'm saying I think it's really crazy, and you're right, like, him coming from that background to go from, like, wealthy parents to, like,
And a
this
normal
sort of
childhood.
life. Yeah, like, what's the point? And this is so random. I don't even think you're gonna like me bringing this up, but this reminds me, I did
Mhm.
not know this, like, I think I was watching a doc or I saw this clip on TikTok or something from a documentary, and, like, they were talking about, I think, how the US got and killed, like, Saddam Hussein. Did you know he came from a wealthy family that lived in Europe? Like, his family lived in, like, London, Paris. They were extremely wealthy. His family went to dinners at the White House. They also lived in the US, and he lived in the US. And then he radicalized himself and went back and did all of that.
No,
And
I did not know
what you just
this.
said, yeah, reminded me of that. It's like, what is wrong with you people to, like, go from such an amazing life to doing atrocities?
No,
So,
insane,
yeah, just
insane.
semi fun fact,
Yeah.
you know.
Wait, what was the part that you were like, "I'm going to bring up because no one's spoken about this?" Because we're at an
Okay.
hour right now, so we gotta
Yeah, we gotta yeah. Okay. You remember the first party they had at Harvard
yeah,
where all of the girls
at
came
the
and
dorm, yeah, yeah.
drank at the dorm and they gave Natalie a drink. And her roommate, Rena, brought home a boy. Right. Did Rena and that boy sexually assault Natalie? I thought so, and I thought that was part of the reason why she went so crazy and started calling all these women, like, angry women, and, like, Rena was the first one because, like, she hated Natalie, so she was gonna have something awful happen to her, and that's when it changed, like, the psyche of
Switch?
Natalie. I have not heard anyone mention this, but it literally said in the book that Rena was like, they ended and she was like, "Oh, I didn't like it," or something, and then
Mhm.
Natalie was like, "I wanted to tell them stop, and it hurt so bad."
Ooh,
Did you not get that from the book?
no, I didn't. I got that, like, she pretended to be asleep and have the covers, like, over her. I didn't even highlight any of that part because I did not think that it was relevant.
I didn't Can you search a book? on here. I have
I'm
to find
sure.
this, like, maybe
Yeah,
it
you can
was.
'cause the
Okay, I
she
think I
did
found it.
okay.
Okay. Um, okay.
Mhm.
Ugh, I don't even wanna read it.
I know. Wait, what page is it on? I'll go to
I
it.
don't have the page. It's 15%. Okay, should I read it?
Okay, I just got to 14%, so let me get to it.
Wait, let me just read it.
Okay.
Okay. They moved forward. A minute later, he was pushing inside her, slower, she said, only it felt like he was pushing inside me. The pain was unbearable. I wanted to scream no, to tell them to stop. Please stop, that I didn't want it. I couldn't bear it. But the pain and the fear and the humiliation had snatched the sound from my mouth. And so I lay there beneath the covers, heart still, blood frozen, mouth stretched open in a breathless corpse gasp and let them have their way with me.
See, I think the way I read that was that she was so sheltered in her previous life that even the thought of, like, that happening beside her and her hearing it was too much. That's how I took that.
Isn't mine like a more normal interpretation? Like that is like so philosophical. You think it was that?
I thought it was
Like
that.
why? Oh my
Because
god.
everything that the roommates and the girls, like, in the hallways, that everything that they were doing was so foreign to her, and she would comment about, like, everything. So when she, like, kind of dragged this out and, like, made comments about it, I just thought it was a part of, like, her, like, commentary.
Oh my god. You know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah. Are you
I
gonna
am
DM her?
yes.
Yeah, DM her.
I'm gonna
She didn't
DM her.
respond to our,
She's going so
June
viral. Like I don't know if
I
she
know.
will, but like I don't know, a lot
Yeah,
of
we can
authors
ask
do
her.
respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so
a lot do.
I'll keep you guys updated.
For sure, keep us
Eh,
abreast.
yes,
Okay,
let's get
wait.
into the Hollywood section.
Yeah, let's get into the Hollywood section. I think yours are pretty good. We, for the first time, like, ever not I usually don't know your Hollywood, but I think I took a little peek, so I know what they are. Go for it,
Okay, so
Sonia.
we only did Natalie and Caleb. There's like so many characters, so we
So
just went
many.
with like the
Too
main
many
two.
kids.
I know. For Natalie, I went with Elizabeth Olsen, and I think it's because of her blonde hair, honestly. Like she kinda reminds me of Ballerina Farm, I think because of the hair. Like it's like a same
But
tone.
Natalie had brunette hair.
I
Has
thought she
she
had
not?
blonde.
I think she had brunette. She had, like, brunette and, like, sharp features.
Okay. Okay, well,
I could be
whatever.
wrong too, I don't know.
And then
Clearly, I did
Caleb,
not like the woman.
I know I for Caleb, I did Andrew Garfield. I really wanted to do Patrick Schwarzenegger, but because I wanted because in the book, he's from, like, a political family, so I was trying to, like, pick something like that,
Mhm.
but he seemed, like, a little too young, and I feel like Andrew Garfield, like, kinda looks like him, has his vibe, but he's a little bit older. So those were my 2.
Not bad. I think I skewed a little bit older than even you, even though I know these
You
people,
did.
like, started off in, like, 19. But for Natalie, I put Keira Knightley because I remember having, like, sharp features and darker hair, but I could be wrong here. And
Mhm.
then for Caleb, I chose the dad in Off Campus as Steve Hoey, whatever. I
Yeah.
think he is a really good Caleb.
Yeah, and he's, like, creepy in the show, so I think it kinda
Yeah.
goes.
Mhm. Yeah. But
Okay,
that was my
perfect.
Hollywood.
Rating time?
I rating time, and you know what? I'm still undecided on my rating. Like,
Okay.
I don't
Mine's
know.
a
Like,
very basic rating.
okay, go for it.
Okay, so at first, whenever I ended the book and on my Kindle, it was like asking for the rating. I wanted to do a 4, but because it was so miserable, I was like, "Should I be giving this a 4?" I gave it a 3. I have since changed it to a 4. So on my
Fair.
Goodreads, it's a 4. My personal rating, I'm just gonna go with 3 because my thoughts are so all over the place. I It was yeah, I think 3 is just middle of the road, like,
Yeah.
I liked it. It was bad in a lot of ways, you know? And
But
that
if
was
you're
another
recommending it
thing,
to
like
someone, I think you can do like a 3.5. You're actually recommending people read this book, so maybe 3.5 for you.
yeah, yeah,
The
3, 5.
size are like too much.
Oh, well, yeah, I think 3, 5 is good, but, another thing I just wanna say, I thought that was an essay scene, and I really, really never want to read one again. I just
Yeah.
wanna put that out there. Like, if you are
I'm
ever
just
recommending a
tired.
book to me, I don't want that, and we say this all the time, we need happy books.
Why
This is
is
not a
nothing
happy book.
happy these days?
And even after I ended because I finished it, like, yesterday evening, so I had the night to read something else. Seriously, I'm going through my list. I'm going through our Bookstagram. I'm going through Goodreads. I cannot find something, and after this book, I didn't want a romance. I wanted, like, a fun fiction
Mhm.
book, you know,
Yeah.
like women's fiction, and I couldn't even find that, and I was like, "Okay, like, let me go to a thriller," and, like, nothing sounded amazing, and then I was like, "Okay, like, let me start." I started a romance, I think by Elle Kennedy, and I I'm just, like, not vibing
Isn't
with it,
she the
so
off-campus girl?
yeah, I just said that.
Oh, okay.
Didn't I?
You
Maybe it
said
was
Elle
in my head.
Kennedy. You said Elle Kennedy, but I was, like,
Yeah,
just putting it together.
yeah,
No, I think yeah, after this, I'm definitely gonna need something just, like, happy, even if it is for, like, 2 days. I
yeah.
may read a oh my god, I may read a, fantasy book.
Which one?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I might try it this summer.
Wait, I thought you were saying that because, like, someone recommended an
Yeah,
amazing fantasy book to
yeah,
you.
they did. I
What is
haven't
it
read the
called?
summary. I don't know. I don't know. I may consider it. I'll keep you guys updated
Okay, let me
next
know.
month.
Should I
Um,
quickly say what I have been reading?
yeah, yeah, say it. And I'm still thinking about my rating, but actually,
Okay,
no. Here's my rating. I'm ready for it.
okay.
Okay. I liked how it was written. I didn't like the pace of it, but I loved the way that she wrote, and I would
Mhm.
most definitely read another book by her
Okay.
if the characters were a little bit
And the
more
material
pleasant.
was
And
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So for that reason on Goodreads, I may give her a 4 because I don't wanna dock points. I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna think about my Goodreads. My personal is a 3. My personal is a
Okay.
3.
So we're,
And I
like,
think that's
aligned.
very yeah, and I think it's very fair for me to give it a 3 because even though I'm like, will not recommend other people read this, unless you like the trad wife, like,
Yeah.
space, sure, read
Mhm.
it, and you wanna, like, get into the psyche of people like this, sure, but I'm not recommending this to, like, normal human beings at all.
You know what was so crazy? When I was researching books last night, there was one book that looked good, and it was like a, women's fiction book, and I saw the word trad wife, and it was homesteading. And I was like,
I gotta go.
"There's no I gotta go. There's no way I can read this right now. I
No.
need, like, a
Mm-mm.
three-month break before I can go back to that book." Okay,
No. Oh my god.
in the meantime, I
Mhm.
have
Yeah, what are
2
you
books
reading?
to talk about.
Okay.
Too Close to Home by Serafina Novaglass. It was a thriller, and I was so excited because, like, at the beginning, whenever we started this podcast, we would just, like, rave about her, and she has, like, I think great books that we've loved by her, one being The Vanishing Hour,
Yeah.
but the last, I wanna say, 2 books I've read by her, I have not enjoyed, and I did not like this one. It was, like, whatever. It was kind of like Bad People. Do you remember that book that you told me to
Mhm.
read? It
Yeah.
was kinda like that, but I expect better from Serafina Novaglass, and this
Yeah.
wasn't it, so I don't recommend. Unless, like, you want a lighthearted thriller, then, go for it. And then the next one, I didn't even tell you about this. The
What?
Night We Met by Abby Jimenez, the book we were thinking about
Okay,
choosing
so
for
why
this
don't we do
time.
that for July?
I already read it.
What did you rate it?
I rated it a 5. I loved it, and let me tell you why.
Stop. We could
At
have
the
done that for
beginning
July. I'll
I
start it.
know. At the beginning, I was like, "This is not, like, what I thought it would be," because everyone raves about her books and her writing, and I was like, "It's fine." But every time I read a romance, after they get together and after the 50%, I'm so over it, which is why I love a
Uh-huh.
slow burn. Like, I don't want them
Uh-huh.
to get together until, like, the 90%, honestly. That's, like, my favorite type of book. This book, it was like they got together later, but it wasn't just that. It was like at the beginning, I didn't even feel their chemistry. I didn't know why they were like so into each other, but then the end it just felt like a relationship that bloomed and stemmed from someone just being there day after day and making your life better. And
Yeah.
that like got me in my feels. And I was like, oh, wow, like now I understand. And it, again, it's very rare that I enjoy a romance after it hits the 50%. And this one, I loved the second half more than I loved the first half.
So am I
So
gonna love it?
I I don't know, but just try it, and whenever
But
I
I'll
bought
try
it
it.
on Kindle yeah, and it was on sale for $5.
Oh, I'm doing that.
Yeah. So, if you're looking for a romance, check that out. So, yeah, those are my 2, but I wanted to talk about them because, like, usually now, like, I don't read that much in between our books. Your girl's
I know
booked and busy, but
it's gotten kind of insane. I think because of the podcast, I like actually read, so that's good. I'm glad that we have
yeah,
this.
yeah,
But I
and
think
I
I'm
like
gonna start the
reading
Abby Jimenez book.
do it.
I think I'm ready.
Yeah, we need to figure out our July book and record
Yeah.
on time next time, but
Yeah, if anyone
that's a
has
problem for the
recs
next
for
3 weeks.
July, let us know. I do wanna read something happy, like, I'm sorry,
No,
I
same,
need just, like, good
same.
energy, like, I cannot be reading depressing books
I
anymore,
think
like, it's too much.
yeah, I think we should look up, like, a happy women's fiction book. You know what? There was this book that I read by Sophie Kinsella, which was one of her more, like, adult books, and I remember reading it, and it was, like, just the type of book that I like slow moving about 3 friends,
Yeah.
and, like, there are 3 different lives, and I think about it, like, periodically. I'm like, "That was, like, a really nice, soothing read." I love a book about just, like, girlfriends, you know? So maybe we can find something like that.
When we read Summer in the City last year as our July book, such a
Mm,
pleasant time.
peak summer.
Just peak summer, like,
Now
in
I'm,
the
like, hiding
city.
from the sun.
I know. Well, that too.
It's too
But
hot here, you guys.
no,
What
we're
are you
not
doing tomorrow?
okay.
4th of July. Happy 4th of
Happy
July, everyone.
4th!
Oh my
Yeah.
god, 250 years.
I
What are
think
you
just, like,
doing?
dinner and then watching fireworks from my place.
Yeah,
I think that's the plan because, again, too hot and bugs, like, outside. Like, I'm just not ready to be
I know.
outside,
I
you
know.
know? What
Yeah.
are you doing? Something
I think
similar?
I really wanna get in a nice lunch. I'll
Mhm.
tell you where after.
Yeah. I know, I already know. And that's what I'm
Amazing.
thinking for, like, a
I
7
d
PM dinner before
okay.
fireworks, you know?
I'm trying to go before because, I wanna just, like, have a good view from this rooftop for fireworks, so I gotta get home on time.
Yeah, yeah, you
But
need
during
to.
the day, yeah, I have some things to do, and
But
then
will
I
you
really
sit
wanna go to that
inside or outside?
place.
Probably inside because it's too hot. If
Yeah.
you sit outside tomorrow, like, I'm gonna judge you. I'm gonna judge you.
No, I'll actually show you. There's a really cute spot. It's like the whole wall is glass upstairs, so that's the spot I need to get. So that's why I'm
Okay,
like, yeah.
okay.
But I want the coffee, and you know which one I'm talking about,
Mhm.
and then I want that lunch, and then I have things to
We're being
do,
so
which
insane right now, but
no, I know.
I
I need to text you about all of them because I need, like, thoughts on the
one
activity that I
thing
have
that
to
I
do.
do need, though, tomorrow is to sleep in. Like, I need to sleep in past 7:45. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't. I need to sleep in till, like, 9
It's
tomorrow,
so funny
please.
because I don't wanna do that,
Oh, you
And
don't? You don't wanna
it's
sleep in tomorrow?
because I rarely have a Saturday to, you know,
Yeah.
do our stuff.
Yeah,
So,
get stuff
like,
done.
I really need the whole day to do everything that has been on my list
Wait, if
with
you're
my
going to that
husband.
lunch spot, I may come stop by and say hello to you if
Okay.
I get time.
Okay.
But,
Perfect.
okay, we have lots to do, and thank you guys for bearing with us for an hour and, like, 20 minutes. I don't know how shortened this will be,
Oh
but
my God.
that was our episode on Yesteryear. We'll catch you next month for July book club. But until then, have fun, you guys. Goodbye. Happy 4.
Bye. Happy 4.
Bye.